Good morning, millennials. We are so excited to be sitting down with someone who we've spoken about 1 million times on this show. We absolutely love her. And when her name came across our desk, we were shook to the core. TikTok queen, Loren Gray. Hi, Loren. How are you? Thank you for
Hi.
being here.
Thanks for having me.
You are so cute. We are so excited. Like, we have been following you for so long. You are 45 million strong on TikTok, something like that. It's crazy. You've been in it for a while. I used to follow you on Musically, and things are just happening. There's so much going on. You just released a new song. Kate, can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so it's my first single that I've released in a while. I took a little break, and then because I really wanted to work on, nailing down my sound and putting out something that I was proud of. So I finally got to that point after I don't even know how long, 8 or 9 months. But yeah, it's out now, so that's cool.
What's it like to release a song during quarantine?
Honestly, I feel like because I'm not your traditional artist, it wasn't that different than what I typically do. Obviously, there's no going out and doing promo, but that's the only difference really. I haven't really toured yet, so that hasn't really made a difference because I've been waiting to get a bigger body of music before I do anything. So yeah, for me, it was just not that different.
Yeah, but your music video was different because you recorded it at home and you had some of my favorite TikTok stars in there. But I imagine that wasn't that different for you because you have a lot of YouTube experience. So was putting together that music video kind of just like filming a YouTube video?
Yeah, so they sent me a shot list and I filmed it on my phone because my camera's actually not, my phone has better quality than my camera.
We do the same thing.
Yeah, so I just filmed it on my phone and it took 4 days. It was kind of difficult because you have to do so many takes of the same thing in different locations, and obviously I had to set up my own lighting and I was making tripods out of cardboard boxes, but it worked and it turned out better than I could have hoped for, so I'm glad.
It's really good.
The song is so good.
Thanks.
We love your music. Your song Anti-Everything is the anthem of our life. We had the Lost Kings on our show probably a year ago now, and they were just so fun. We were talking about you, and it was a highlight.
Yeah, I love that song. When I listen to it now, I feel like I sound so young because I recorded it 2 years ago, but I still love it. I was playing it in the car the other day.
There's a lot of just about that song. When I think about it, there's so many similarities between that song and the one from Taylor Swift's Lover album. I think it's Cornelia Street, the way it starts. Claude, you were the one who said that.
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh yeah.
Did you ever notice that?
Someone pointed it out and it was you copied Taylor Swift, and I was like, no, I think it's just a coincidence.
Also, your song
definitely didn't copy me. So.
But speaking of, we got so many questions for you, and probably the number one thing I wanted to ask you was your experience filming the music video for The Man with Taylor Swift. You played a cute little ball girl on a tennis court, and I need every single detail from the moment you woke up to the moment you went to sleep. What was that like?
Yeah, so I got up. It was before I bought myself, I recently bought myself a nicer car, but I've been driving my 2014 Kia for a while, and I was super insecure driving there because I was like, oh my God, I'm driving myself to this music video set that's 2 hours away, and I'm like, I don't know who's going to be here because I didn't know what it was going to be. Because a lot of the times with big artists, they don't really tell you what's happening beforehand just to keep everything, top secret, whatever. And then eventually they told me, and I was waiting around in a lot of green rooms because you know how it goes. And I was really nervous. And then I got to the set and Taylor came out, but I didn't know it was her because she had the full prosthetics on. And there was another guy who was a stunt double who was also on set that looked exactly like her with prosthetics. So you couldn't really tell them apart unless you were talking. So she started talking and she was like, oh, I just want to say thank you so much. I know you're from Pennsylvania. We're from the same area and all this stuff. And because she went to school literally down the street from my house. So then I realized it was her when she started talking. I talked to her for a while. She's really cool. And that was really, really refreshing because, people say you're never supposed to meet your idols. And I was so, so nervous because she's my number one female pop star. I watch her Reputation tour on Netflix and I cry every time.
Me too.
I'm vicariously, I'm one of those people that I get proud of someone that I don't even know. Like, I'm so proud of her.
I'm so
And
proud.
like, oh my God, I get choked up talking about it. But like, I just get so proud of other people, especially, you know, coming from nothing and making something of yourself is, you know, something really special. So I didn't really tell that to her though. I was like, yeah, no, it's cool. Like, you know, yeah, we're from the same town, like whatever. But yeah, then she ended up, we shot the scene, and it was really cool to watch her do her thing, and the way that she did direct that video. Like when she said she directed it, she was calling the shots, and it was really inspiring to see someone, you know, take control like that. And she was just being absolutely crazy, and it was really interesting and fun to watch. And then I left, and then I drove home, and
That's so crazy.
I called everyone, and by everyone I mean my parents, because I wasn't allowed to tell anyone. So
That's honestly just such goals. Like, congratulations. I feel the same way about Taylor. But can we backtrack for a minute, because you're huge on TikTok, but you've kind of were one of the early adapters on the platform. You gained popularity when it was still Musically, but obviously things have changed so much in the last year. I would love to hear your take on what you think about the whole rebrand. Do you like the new different types of content? Do you miss Musically? How has your content shifted? What are your thoughts?
yeah, I feel like, you know, platforms are always evolving, and there's always going to be something new. Obviously, the rebrand was a little bit difficult to get used to at first. Um, it was really out of nowhere. Like, I didn't expect it to change completely as a platform. And I actually took like a 6-month break. Like, I didn't even know what it was, because it went through this transitional period where no one really knew what to post on it. And it was before it kind of got cool and there was memes. But because Musically, and no hate to like what I was doing, but it wasn't cool. Like, I got so much heat for even doing it because it was cringy and it was this and it was that. But then now it's like the coolest thing ever, and everyone wants to be TikTok famous. So it was a little bit hard to get used to, but I feel like I've always been pretty good at adapting to things. And I still keep a little bit of what I was, you know, there's that string of I've always been the same, just adapting, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's just so fascinating to watch your community grow and to watch your numbers grow. There's so many like politics now on TikTok, and we got so many questions for you. And I'm sure you get this all the time, but what are your kind of best practices when it comes to people who want to gain traction? What kind of content do you think does best? Of course, everyone has different communities, but what are some tips of the trade that you could give to our viewers?
Yeah, I usually just kind of see what's trending, what sounds are trending, and I'll do my own take on that or whatever trend is happening, mixed in with content, obviously, that I come up with myself. Sometimes it just depends, but I think the biggest key to gaining traction is just consistency, and understanding that the first video that you post might not be the one that goes viral, but eventually, you know, the more you post, eventually things will catch on, and audiences will grow, for sure.
And you've gotten so big on TikTok. And of course, there are many, many perks of that, like filming the Taylor Swift music video. But a lot of people might not recognize some of the challenges that come with that. And I'm sure a lot of that has to do with negativity. We experience our fair share. You're so young. Like, how do you deal with that? How do you not let it affect your mental health?
I feel like I because I've been doing it for so long, I acquired a thick skin really early. I made my mistakes when I was 13, 14, and then after that, I kind of got in this routine where I kind of separated myself from the things that people have to say. And I was just talking about this the other day. Like, I have separated online from myself as a person, which I'm still myself online, but my self-worth is detached from that aspect. So I feel like it's really important not to, you know, attach ego and self-worth and all those kinds of things to the internet. And that's something that I learned over time, obviously. But yeah, it was hard at first, of course. And I was really young when I started everything. So it was really confusing. But the older I've gotten, the more that I'm able to disassociate those two things. And a lot of the times people just say things on the internet because they're insecure. And I know everyone says that, but I was talking to this other girl who's like a kind of a new influencer, and I was trying to tell her, you know, you have the upper hand. They want what you have. And that's just, they just hate to see other people doing well. And that's something that I recognized over time. But that's kind of what helps with that.
That's such a mature point of view. Like, it takes so many people so many years, and sometimes people never even get to that other side of being able to develop that thick skin, or like just disassociate what's going on online from real life, because they are so different, and you can literally just turn your phone off and all that noise doesn't exist anymore. And so I think that's a really great approach that you have, and it's really inspiring.
And I feel like a lot of people can look up to it in a lot of ways. And that's what I really like about TikTok is the people who we've started to idolize, like you and you know, people with huge followings, Charlie. You guys are really just regular girls, and you really relate to a lot of your audience in a very responsible way. So I commend you for being really an excellent role model for young people all over the world.
Thanks. Yeah, I try. I mean, I feel like that's really the only way to do it, you know? You can't really get too far being problematic and relying on drama and people paying attention to that to get ahead, because you're not, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not something that's sustainable, and you're not really building a real fan base. You're building people who watch when,
there's like hype.
Bad happens. Yeah. And I learned that also really quickly, but I feel like the best thing to do, because the internet is such a negative place sometimes, is to be a positive outlet for people to turn to. And it's very few and far between, because you don't find a lot of people on the internet who genuinely want to be good people. Everyone's just looking to get ahead, and those people don't last.
Wow. Very well said. Well, thank you for stopping by. Congratulations on your new single. Can you tell people where to follow you? Where can they listen to your music?
Sure. My Instagram is Loren. My TikTok's Loren Gray. My Twitter's I am Loren Gray, I think. My Snapchat's Loren. And then my song Cake is on Spotify, Apple Music, Dixter. I've done all the liners, so I know all of them. They're on everything. It's everywhere.
It was easy to
do it. It's so good.
And the video's on YouTube, and it's so cute, and you did such a great job. Thank you so much for being here. Congratulations on your new song and all your success. And thank you guys for listening to The Morning Toast. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you. Bye.